Welcome back to the morning show here on the Rise News. Campaigns, consultations, wheeling and dealing ahead of the forthcoming elections into the principal offices of the National Assembly are approaching fever pitch. As it is, the All Progressives Congress, which is the majority party in Parliament, apparently holds all the aces, but is also struggling to restore internal peace following stiff resistance to a zoning formula by interest within it. More interestingly, APC is also fighting to prevent a repeat of the 2015 scenario when a group of renegade lawmakers led by former Senate President Bukola Saraki turned the tables on the party's anointed ones for the leadership of offices. Right now, we're being joined for further discussion on this by Ikenga Ugochinere, a House Representatives member-elect from the People's Democratic Party, on how the race is shaping up and what manner of leaders he expects to emerge who can drive the 10th National Assembly to serve Nigerians more effectively. It's so good to have you. Okay, well, we're expecting him to join us in just a minute. So this is a race, a race that is going to go to the wire, because initially the party's anointed is Senator Akpabio. But a lot of people, even within the party, they're saying that they don't even want Senator Akpabio because they feel like there's a segment of the party, a part of the party, that is saying that what they want to see is somebody from the Southeast, because the Southeast is not able to, has not been presenting a Senate president, and that it is the right of the Southeast because of the current structure of the government currently, the president, the vice president, and then they're saying the Senate president should definitely come from the Southeast. But it looks like Senator Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who is the president-elect, is endorsing Senator Akpabio. That's what it seems like. So there is members of the party who are not happy with that arrangement. And then there are those who are not part of the party who are saying that definitely they have their own agenda. So this is looking like, what word? I'm looking for the right word. It's a fight that is going to go to the wire. And it's one that if APC is not careful, they might actually lose. They can lose this fight unless they're able to get their house in order. And currently, it doesn't look like it's in order because all the ducks are not filing up in one row. They're not filing up in one row. Those who are interested, the interested parties within the party, like Senator Ugochinere, he is saying that he is definitely the right person. He's a ranking senator. He wants to be the next Senate president. There are other people within the party who also feels like, yes, definitely he's got to go to the Southeast. And then there are those who are not from the Southeast, who are from the Northwest, Northeast, who are saying that it is their turn as well, like the likes of Senator Yari. So it's a serious tug of war. So let's go back to Ikenga Ugochinere, House Representative member-elect from People's Democratic Party. So how's the race shaping up? Let's start with you, Senator. It's good to see you looking good. I checked your profile and I looked at you. You look like somebody who's definitely ready for office and ready for the battle within the House of Representatives. Tell us, what's your thought? Are you one of those that believe very strongly that it is the turn of the Southeast, or you believe that somebody from the South, irrespective of whether it's Southeast or South-South, should be the next Senate president? Or do you support somebody who's from your political party who thinks it belongs to the North?
Well, I'm in the House of Representatives, and what is before us in the House of Representatives is the candidature of Honorable Tajuddin Abbas as Speaker and Honorable Benjamin Carlo as Deputy Speaker. Up there in the Senate, they have Akpabio being proposed as Senate President with Barrow as Deputy. But the key thing here is the agitation must be identified clearly for you to understand the dynamics of what is playing out. I am not a member of APC, I'm a member of PDP. But what is before us is a zoning formula that gives an opportunity for South-South to be Senate President, a position they have not occupied for 24 years. And also going with it is Southeast inclusion on the position of Deputy Speaker. Though not enough, would have expected to have either the Senate President or the Speaker. But what is on the table has some element of inclusion. And what is causing the problem is that some people who disagree with that. If you disagree with that zoning formula, what I had expected them to do is to do something that is better. What do I mean by that? You can say, okay, we don't want the individuals that their political party have brought forward. Then let's go and say we can give the Senate President to another person, either in Southeast or South-South, or speakership. But what the people are proposing is very dangerous, and it shows the level of disrespect they have to politics of inclusion. They want a situation that at the end of the day, by June 13, we are going to now have a Muslim president, a Muslim vice president, a Muslim Senate president, a Muslim speaker, a Muslim CJN. I don't think that is what our nation founding father envisaged. And we have a country that is divided so much on the altar of ethnicity and religion. Building bridges of unity is now. And the first mistake have been made on the first positions. Now you now have a situation that will have inclusion. If you want to disagree with that, you come forward with something that is more better, but not to perpetuate a situation that is more dangerous. And it's also important that you understand that there is also an element of competence that they are trying to cover. Here you have Tajuddin Abbas, a primary school teacher, a university lecturer, and somebody that has proposed and sponsored 74, and I want you to write it down, 74 bills. Out of that 74 bills, 21 have been signed into law by the president. You now have Benjamin Kalu being proposed as deputy speaker with 41 bills. Over 2 have been signed into law by the president. And those who want to go against the choice of this candidate have not even sponsored one motion on the floor of both chambers of the National Assembly. So competence must also not be taken away. Inclusion and fairness must also not be taken away. So when you look into all these things, you now understand the reason why I have taken this side, that for this inclusion, for this fairness, for this competence, the only way we can go against that formula that is on the table is that you are coming to the table with something that is better to what is already on the table.
All right, Ikenga, I mean, surely your natural inclination would be for your preferred side, individual, candidate. But in spite of who emerges, what will your general expectation be of them?
Well, for now, like I said, if you watch when I took my first official position, I've sat down with Benjamin Kano, I've sat down with Tajuddin Abbas. I've also sat down with most of those aspirants, both some in the Senate, some in the House of Rep, to have a peep into their future legislative plan. And I see a group of people that understand the urgency of time that requires us using legislative action to solving challenging national problems, especially the issue of restructuring that is so dear to our people. Because if Nigeria cannot be run efficiently, then there's going to be a problem. So we want to see a parliament that knows that it's time to move from the way we used to do things to the way that will help us to solve this challenging problem that is facing our people. How do we unite the country? How do we ensure we institutionalize equity, fairness, and justice? How do we have political stability? Because with political stability, you can have development. How do we have a law that will even say that let power rotate between North and South, and then let power rotate among the senatorial zones in the state? So we can go past the instability that comes with struggle for power. How do we look at making the federating units to have some level of independence, to have some level of economic independence? How do we resolve the issue of resource control? These are issues that each parliament keeps running away from, but we must address them. How do we reduce the level of poverty? States must function. Local governments must function. You can see how the local government have been captured by governors and put in their pocket. This, when we were growing up, how effective and efficient the local government system have been. And because there's no local government system, there's so much unemployment, there's so much crisis, there's so much poverty, there's so much insecurity. How do we, as a matter of national emergency, restore the independence of the local government system, have inclusion on the table, have merit on the table, and have a republic that will work with for all of us? And that is why I frown at the idea of saying you don't agree to a zoning formula that has some level of inclusion, but you don't want to do it better. You now want to divide the lines of religious division and ethnic division further and treat other people like like they don't belong. Let me say this. Some people say, oh, dash it to all the people, all the people contesting from the north because they voted. I say the right to vote and the right to economic powers in terms of mineral resources upon which this country is running. Those rights are also important. You may vote. Another man is paying tax. And if all of us are paying tax, even to the government that we did not vote, it's because all of us believe that we'll be treated equitably and fairly. So because of that, there is no moral justification to say you take every position and turn the table upside down because some particular individuals were not the ones that was brought forward. It's not going to be healthy for the growth of the country.
Okay, so let me ask you then, you're not a member of APC, you're a member of PDP, and as a member of PDP, there are quite a number of APC candidates for the speakership. You cannot influence, to a large extent, you cannot influence who becomes the next Senate president. So the only way you can vote will be to vote within the House of Reps. Within the House of Reps, who is your candidate?
I've made it very clear. Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, representing the good people of Zaria Federal Constituency, and Honorable Benjamin Okezie-Carlo, representing Bende. They are the people I'm supporting for Speaker and Deputy Speaker. And majority of lawmakers elect, like I told them yesterday when we visited River State, as of yesterday, we have exceeded the 181 votes required to be elected. The number keeps growing day by day. And at the end of the day, I believe, and I strongly believe, that those who are still opposing Tajuddin Adia and Benjamin Carlo will at the end of the day agree to see the reason why we should support them for stability, for efficiency, and an inclusive parliament. At the end of the day, we may have a rank-or-free election on June 13.
Okay, on that note, we want to say thank you very much, House of Reps elect, Honorable Ugochinere. Thank you so very much.